My name is Lemony Snicket. I'm grateful for this opportunity to be able to appear on camera to warn people away from my books. I am the author of a great number of books, and I recommend none of them. Once I was in the library, and I was looking at all the books that were on the shelf, and there were no books that were written about the Baudelaire orphans. There were no books that were written about Violet, Klaus, and Sonny, and the terrible fire that consumed their home, and the dreadful man, Count Olaf, with whom they were forced to live, and all of the terrible things that kept happening over and over again. So it was a void that I sensed on the shelf, and I thought I would fill it. There are many horrible terms for these books. The books tell a dreadful and depressing story. Most people who read them find themselves getting distressed and unnerved. Many people end up tearing out their own hair, and that's why when you wander the streets you see so many bald and sad people. It's because they've read books by Lemony Snicket and they've lived to regret it. My answer is always the same: no age whatsoever. If you're 2, you are too young. If you're 6, you are too young. If you're 36, you are too young. If you're 109, maybe. If you've had a very difficult life, full of trouble, and you're used to terrible things happening over and over again, and you don't mind that when you pick up this book and read about one more terrible thing, you drop down dead instantly, maybe for that 109-year-old you may read the book. Everyone else is far too young. When I was a child, I was very, very interested in books. I kept many near my bed so that I could read well into the evening, or if a burglar was there, so that I would have something heavy to throw at him. I was very interested in literature, both for reading and for warding off predators. It's true that the stories in a series of unfortunate events are real. They are as real as I, Lemony Snicket, am. They're as real as anything. And it's true that the books are often filed in the fiction section, which is a mistake. The books, whenever I see them in a library or a bookstore filed in the fiction section, I go and I find the person who's in charge and I say, these books should not be in the fiction section. They should be in the dumpster behind the library or bookstore. The Unauthorized Autobiography was a book that I wrote about my own life, and that was compiled without my permission and published. Contained in this book are diary entries, obituaries, strange photographs, maps, questions, answers to things that the questions weren't asking, questions that don't have any answers that relate to the answers that were given for the first set of questions, more and more confusing items. The more people dive into the Unauthorized Autobiography, the less satisfied and the more unhappy they become. My advice to anyone who wants to be a writer is to carry a notebook with you so that you can write down anything that you overhear or any idea that you have, so you might be able to use it later. Now, the other part of that is that when you're eavesdropping on someone and taking notes on their conversation, the important thing is to have an excuse ready so that when you're caught eavesdropping, you'll have an excuse. An excuse I like to use is, I thought I dropped a pencil somewhere around here. My family is ashamed of me. But I think most families are ashamed of the writer in their family. I think writing usually carries a disreputable air of it. It's almost as it has the smell of misery. When you become a writer, you know that you're going to become the sort of person who spoils family gatherings by being gloomy and literary. For me, a typical workday begins with early rising in the morning, a little bit of breakfast, weeping, reading, waking up again because I seem to have fallen asleep, a light lunch, research, taking notes, the slow feeling that life means nothing, an ongoing depression, sheer unhappiness, more weeping, panic, hysteria, dinner, bed. I think weeping is an important part of just about any process. I weep every day for 2 reasons. One, because the stories that I write are very depressing and they upset me, and the other is that I often have excess salt water near my eyes, and weeping is the only way I know to get rid of it.